Hi everybody, it's Cindy in Oklahoma, and I am out running around today. This is not political, but it is political. We don't know what next week is going to bring. We don't know who's going to win. We don't know how different people are going to react. We don't know if a foreign country is going to decide, oh, this is the best time to make them absolutely miserable. We don't know. So I'm out finishing up, getting some, we do live in the country, so if the electricity goes out, and this is in the winter also, I can't get water because I have a well. And so in the winter, which we are getting ready to start having freezing temperatures and stuff, I always have lots of used distilled water I use in my CPAP. I save those jugs and I fill them with water to take out to the animals. I don't have many animals outside anymore, but just to have something to water them. I do have 2 ponds, and we can get out there and break the ice if we have to for the cattle and the donkeys to get water. It's just, now I've just got the one little dog and me in the house, so I want jugs of water for us. And so every winter we put water. It never freezes in my garage, and so every winter I keep water out in the garage in case we have really bad cold weather. It happens, and Oklahoma can get ice storms and get things like that. So it's not unusual for Oklahoma to have power outages out in the country, especially. So anyway, that's what I'm out doing today. I'm going to go to Sam's and get some yogurt. I like Sam's yogurt. And get my last little bit of things I need in case for some reason it gets crazy next week after the election, for whatever reason, or they're saying that we could have tornadoes later on this weekend. So that can always happen in Oklahoma. So that's what I'm out doing. I'm preparing for weather, political weather, whatever. And I was going to vote early, and I was going to take my neighbor lady, who's elderly, to the county seat. We were going to go vote. Well, because I thought it might be crazy long for her to stand or whatever on election day. But at the last minute, she backed out, so we have decided to go on election day. And there's such massive early voting that maybe the polls won't be so bad, on election day. That's kind of what I'm hoping, because, she's pushing her late 80s, so, and she's wonderful for her age, but still, So that's what's going on at my house. Nothing beyond that. I will tell you, without telling you who supports who, my daughter-in-law got really excited about her candidate, and they have a loop drive, like a circle drive, whatever, and it feeds onto the highway. They live off the highway, and so they've got fencing along the front of their place. It's an acreage, and she had banners, banner to banner to banner, all along there. And one night, 2 weeks ago, some of the banners were gone. And I noticed them when I went by their house. I thought, well, the wind, we'd had some bad winds. And the only ones missing were on the south side. And I thought, well, maybe those winds, because they come out of the south, maybe they took them. Well, then some other people that were supporting the same candidate, their signs all disappeared. Like they had the kind you stick in the ground. And this one lady, I just got a kick when I saw her signs, because it honestly looked like somebody got out there and equally measured between each sign. And every time I went by there, I thought, that looks like something my dad would have done. So I got a kick out of it. But anyway, so my daughter-in-law was on the news. They come out and talked to her. And the next weekend, they had gone out of town. Their oldest boy's in college. And it was homecoming at his college school. And he plays in the band. So they went to where his college is. And while they were gone at like 1 o'clock in the morning, see, the first batch, my son didn't have his, he'd bought them, but he didn't have his cameras up, his security cameras. So he got them put up right quick. Well, while they were gone, somebody took down all 8 signs that she had, banners, big plastic banners. And they got them on film, and they looked to be teenagers. And it happened about 1 at night, and the boys all had their hoods up. They had on hoodies, and they had their hoods up, and it was dark enough in the way they kind of pulled in. They didn't actually pull directly in the drive, but they pulled on the edge of the yard. You couldn't see their license tag. You could see kind of what make a truck it was, but so anyway, I had said, well, that's why I wouldn't put out political banners, because there was just so much hate going around this year that I just didn't want my house getting shot at. I'm sorry. I didn't trust anybody. So they put the banners, they took them all down. And so she said when the TV station came out that she had ordered new ones, but I was by there today and they had the kind you stick in the yard. But I think the first time, and it may have not even been the same people, but the first time, whoever saw the news report, then that became a challenge to these teens. Oh yeah, because they said where the property was, and it'd be hard to miss. And so, yeah, I don't know if it was the same kids each weekend, but they took them all down, and she's ordered the kind you stick in the ground. And like I told her, I said, well, the good thing is it's about over, so you can... Anyway, so that's what's been going on in Oklahoma, as if stealing political signs is something new. My son, that lives at this house where the signs were, when he was this is a funny story, when he was in high school, maybe he wasn't even driving yet, but his best friend was like 6-8 months older than he was, just the way their birthdays fell. And his best friend's granddad was running, or had been mayor in this little town we lived in for a long, long time. And it was election time. And so, and of course, my son got in trouble for this, but he and his friend decided at like 2 o'clock on Sunday morning on the weekend that they would call and campaign for Granddad's opponent, wake these people up, and, well, he got in trouble for it when I found that out. Well, then I found out that he and his best friend watched, now mind you, this was a little town. It was maybe 20,000 or less people at that time, probably less than that. They followed the other people around, kind of behind them, and they would place the signs. And then as soon as they were out of sight, Chris and Tommy would pull up the competitor sign. Well, Granddad got a hold of that information, and he made the boy, he said, that's not the way democracy works. You're going to take all the other guys' signs back, and you're going to go to the house, and you're going to apologize that you did it, and make sure that sign was there, and that's where you took it from, and blah, blah, blah. And so I know that these pranks go back 30-some years. Let's just put it at that. And it's nothing new. But it's kind of disgusting because, back when my son did it, the people who were, somebody paid for those signs, doesn't matter. But the people that were campaigning paid for the signs. Nowadays, people have to buy their own banners and signs and all that. You know, they don't supply them. And they, like my daughter-in-law said, they get expensive, you know. So anyway, that's been the excitement out in the country where I live. I actually live in a different county than they do, although we only live a mile apart. So one of the guys that is running in their district actually is not the same party that I'm affiliated with, but he was a very nice man. He was running for state senate, and he had sponsored the bingo at the Senior Citizen Center, and he and his wife brought their little kids, which every old person there loved that. And they're very nice people, you know. And I was telling my son about him. I said, you know, you ought to meet him because he's really a nice man, and he lives over by the school, and his older boy goes to the same school that my grandkids went to and all that. But anyway, we live in a community now that I believe when we moved out there it was 12 or 1,800, and now it's like pushing 20,000 in the last 25 years. So it has really, really grown. The weather is beautiful here today. It was cool this morning. It feels like fall, which I'm ready for fall. Other than that, I just wanted to get on here and say hello. I love you. I miss not doing videos, but sometimes I get very, very quiet, and especially since my husband died. I'm kind of a introvert, a little bit, believe it or not. Anyway, so sometimes it's just hard for me to make videos, but I do miss you. This, if you're one of my wig people, this is the Voltage Raquel Welch that I have on, and I miss you, and I will see you later, and let's pray for our country, pray for all of us, pray there's not unrest, that this gets done, it gets put to bed, and life goes on. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.